Angela Levin, Happy New Year. How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you. Happy New Year to you. I hope it's a good one.
Yes, well, I don't think it can really be much worse than
Yeah,
2024 in a lot of ways, right?
exactly.
Well, look, I'm really excited about this. 2024 has been quite a shocking year to the royal family in so many ways. And we're going to kick off today by unveiling Angela Levin's most shocking royal moment of 2024. And it was, of course, the double cancer blow when we learned that King Charles had been diagnosed with cancer after a routine operation, but within weeks, so too had Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Let's take a look at how the news was broken to the world. Angela Levin, it just gives you chills, doesn't it? One of
Yeah.
those moments in your life, I think you'll always remember where you were when you heard that news. And it's so important, isn't it, Angela, to contextualize the fact that poor Catherine was effectively bullied in to that announcement after the Sussex Squad, people like Stephen Colbert, allies of Harry and Meghan, had been utterly, despicably hounding her for weeks, spreading the most vile rumours when in fact she was undergoing chemotherapy.
Yes, I mean, the whole thing was just terrible. I'm very fond of the king, and I know that he's waited so many years before he could become king. But he didn't want to sort of try and say, well, he wished his mother wasn't there because he loved his mother too, wanted to please her. So, so soon after he took the crown, he was ill. And, my mind always rushes for things like that. Someone of his age, it can be very dangerous indeed. And obviously, take him away from us very quickly. And I couldn't bear the thought, actually. And then to have this heartbreaking speech by our lovely, beautiful future queen, I just couldn't cope with it. It really made me feel extremely down for a very long time because I thought, here is this wonderful person who's young, who is so marvelous with her husband, is obviously a good mother. You can always tell when children want to rush around her and be with her and not rush to the nanny. And that she was obviously very seriously ill.
Royal biographer Angela Levin, one of the most respected voices on the British monarchy, has officially given up on Prince Harry, calling him and Meghan evil and vile. That's right. A woman who once had faith in Harry has now exposed the true nature of his betrayal, his complete abandonment of family, duty, and integrity. And you know what? He's absolutely right. This isn't just about a spoiled prince and his Hollywood-obsessed wife. This is about the global war against tradition, honor, and truth. Meghan and Harry have weaponized victimhood, manipulated the media, and sold out their own family to gain power in a system that thrives on division. And the worst part? They did this while King Charles and Princess Catherine were battling cancer.
And I just thought it was terrible. And the fact then, when you really know, when you hear that people were saying, oh, we saw her walking somewhere, but actually it wasn't her. She was one of these AI bodies, and that she was just lazy and she was just awkward. When she's worked incredibly hard, never put a foot wrong. It's a stand thing that most of us say about her. And the spitefulness that was coming. And I was actually furious that Harry and Meghan, once they knew that she really was genuinely ill, sent a message that said, oh, Kate, we hope you're soon okay. Best wishes. And they knew, and they know that she doesn't like being called Kate. She likes being called Catherine. So this was their way of actually putting a knife in, no cunningness. And I was furious with that. And most of us felt too dreadful when you could see how pale she looked and that it was such a brave speech to make. And after that, people left off a bit. But, other people, I won't name them, would say, well, I've got a brother who's had cancer and he got back very quickly, and he also worked at the same time. Why couldn't she? The intrusion and the callousness was absolutely shocking. I mean, she's remarkable. She does what is her best for the country. So why someone should try and knock her down when she felt ill? I hope at that time she wasn't reading anything or hearing anything that actually made her feel unhappy.
The problem is, Angela, you just couldn't avoid it. I hope so too, but it was everywhere. And this went into the mainstream. It was the first example, Angela, I feel, of the Sussex squad really being able to drive the agenda, because you'll remember Stephen Colbert, the US chat show host, who is closely allied with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It was the show that Harry decided to promote his autobiography Spare on in the US. He works for CBS. Even decided to broadcast those rumours about Prince William's former friend at a time when Catherine was going through that. It was just so grim. And I'm sorry, Angela, I don't believe that he would have done that without checking with Harry and Meghan in some way.
All right, folks, let's start with the most disgusting part of this entire situation. Meghan and Harry's so-called support for Princess Catherine while she was battling cancer. Angela Levin calls this out for what it is: a manipulative, cold, and calculated move by two people who couldn't care less about Catherine's health. Let's be real. If Meghan and Harry truly cared, they would have flown to the UK to visit in person, released a heartfelt personal statement, not a generic PR-approved message, stopped their media attacks on the royal family. But what did they actually do? They sent a quick, disingenuous message that deliberately called her Kate, a name she has repeatedly stated she does not like. That's not support, folks. That's a calculated insult. This is how the radical left operates. They pretend to care, they talk about compassion and understanding, but their actions always expose their true intentions. Now let's take a step back. Because this isn't just about a bitter Hollywood actress and a weak prince. This is about a bigger agenda. Meghan and Harry's attacks on the royal family are part of a broader war on tradition, monarchy, and Western values. Think about it. Why did Meghan insist on painting the royal family as racist? Why did Harry repeatedly attack his father and brother on global platforms? Why are they constantly trying to modernize the monarchy despite its 1,000-year history? Because they want to dismantle it. They are part of the global elite's obsession with tearing down traditional institutions and replacing them with woke, globalist alternatives. And this isn't just happening in Britain. It's happening in America too. Look at how the left has attacked the founding fathers, the Constitution, and even the nuclear family. This is the same game plan. Rewrite history, demonize those in power, and replace strong, stable traditions with chaos and victimhood.
Well, whether he did or whether he didn't, it was a disgusting thing to do. And I think it doesn't matter if he asked or not, because I think Harry and Meghan have got a high number of appalling things that they say and do, and so evil nowadays. I had hoped that Harry would actually pull himself together and actually stop being so vile, but I've given up on that. It's a great shame he's changed. And I think that anybody who would accept that sort of information is as bad as the people who would have given them.
Well, indeed. And the thing is, Angela, this was, there were lots of warning signs as to why these people shouldn't have spread the unsubstantiated rumours. I remember going on the Megyn Kelly show, because Outspoken hadn't launched at that point, Angela, and I said, hold up, everyone, she is incredibly unwell. Now, I wasn't going to reveal any personal health information, of course I wouldn't, but it just was so necessary to balance up the rumours, because everyone was getting off on them, thinking there was something wrong in the marriage, thinking that Catherine was dead. Oh, it was a really awful period, actually. And it shows you, Angela, the power of the Sussex Squad. And I've been reporting on the Sussex Squad all year long because they are the biggest gang of internet trolls in the history of the online world. And what they did to Catherine was unforgivable.
Well, there's two things there, really, isn't it? That's one of the many reasons that William doesn't want them over, certainly not Harry,
Yes.
and wouldn't let them come anywhere near his children or near his wife. So one can easily understand that. The other point, which I think is really important, is that we all feel that anyone who likes the monarchy feels that we're part of their family. We see children growing up, we see weddings, we see lovely occasions, we see their tragedy when they're not well, and we are part of them. I remember with the Queen when it was COVID, and I was feeling desperate about it because I couldn't go out, I couldn't do anything. It was really horrible. And then the Queen came on and said, don't worry, we'll be all right. Everything will be okay. We've had difficulties before. Things will come in good time. And I felt much better about that. That's quite a hard one, though. You just changed my view very quickly. And I thought, well, we really needed the Queen, and she was there for us. And I think that is what happens now with the royal family. We need them, and they come to us, and they're very popular. And all those people who want to try and pull them down are getting nowhere.
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. Angela, after kicking off with something a bit sad, why don't we move on to your best royal moment of the year? And this was actually part of a spectacular day where Catherine emerged at Trooping the Colour. But you have decided to go with a young Prince Louis stealing the show. And before I get your reaction, Angela, should we have a little look at some of the video of him on that day?
This isn't just family drama. This is a coordinated effort to weaken Western civilization by undermining its pillars. And I don't know about you, but I refuse to let these entitled, self-obsessed elites rewrite history. Now let's talk about the biggest enabler in all of this, the mainstream media. For years, the media has covered for Meghan and Harry, pushing a narrative that the royal family is cruel and outdated. Meghan is a victim of racism and sexism. Harry is a hero for escaping the monarchy. But what they won't report is Meghan's history of lying and manipulating stories, Harry's hypocritical lifestyle, preaching about climate change while taking private jets, how they've profited from attacking their own family. This is the same tactic we see in the US. The media protects the elites who push their woke agenda while demonizing those who stand for tradition. They did it with Donald Trump, Brett Kavanaugh, and anyone else who challenges their power. And now they're doing it with Meghan and Harry.
These Scots guards. So you're enjoying boogieing along to that?
Oh, Angela, he's brilliant.
It's wonderful, isn't it? I mean, he's an absolutely gorgeous boy, but he was bored initially, and that's all right. He's 6, there's no reason why he shouldn't be. But anyone who's bored on the balcony makes their face go straight and they don't show it. But he wasn't one of those, and he did that, and I think he stole the show because he's doing his side to side to go with the royal band. And his mother, Catherine, who was right behind him, didn't do anything, didn't say anything, didn't bend over, nothing. But Princess Charlotte, age 9, didn't approve of it. And when it was time for the national anthem, she sort of stood up herself first and then got him to stiffen his arms so that they were straight and he was standing up straight. And I thought, here's a little mother already. She's taking responsibility. And it was just so sweet to see him because he wasn't trying to be naughty. He listened to her. Another thing, he could have go away, and spoilt the whole thing. But he wasn't going to do something that she didn't want. And it's a powerful young woman. And I just thought that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, look at her face there. Goodness me.
She can't bear it. But she waited, and she was quite right, because if she kept on doing it, she'd have got very, very annoyed. But she waited until the anthem came on, and she knew absolutely this is the part, this is the best bit. This he must not mess about in under any circumstances. So she made herself upright first. She didn't sort of slip to one side, and he listened. And I thought, it was delicious, really delicious.
He's allowed to be naughty, isn't he? He's the youngest, and
he's a young boy. Yes, you can't expect him to be marvelous all the time. But the other two actually haven't been difficult. But it's a different personality, so you just take that into care and make sure that you save the most important things for them. Actually, when I saw him last year at the church, and with the singing, and he was completely different. He didn't hold hands with anyone, and he walked very strictly and very superbly, shoulder back. He had a tie on for the first time. I wondered whether it was the tie. I think it was the first time. And he marched very well, and he went into the car before anybody else. And he was. So I think this is going to be a change, Louis, this year.
Now here's the good news, folks. The world is waking up. Angela Levin and Dan Wooten both agree that Meghan and Harry's influence is fading fast. Their Netflix deal? A disaster. Spotify? Dropped them. Public opinion? Worse than ever. Because at the end of the day, the truth always wins. No matter how much the media covers for them, no matter how many PR games they play, they cannot rewrite history. And that, my friends, is why we must continue to expose them. So what's the takeaway? Meghan and Harry are not victims. They are manipulators. Their attacks on the royal family are part of a bigger war on tradition and Western values. The media is complicit in covering for them. Their influence is fading, but we must continue to fight back. If you're tired of the lies, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and let me know. Do you think Meghan and Harry's downfall is coming soon?